oh, the rates are dropping, so we're good. And they think it takes a long period of time. That's what it was today.
Right.
But it isn't what it is tomorrow.
Well, welcome back.
You too.
We have Chris Hill back in the house today.
In the house.
So we talked about a couple times. We talked about how market updates come out every month.
Yeah, and they're always so boring.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Right.
who wants to sit through and listen to us talk about the market, how the market's doing?
I don't even want to sit here and talk about rates or anything anymore.
I know.
You know, I'm sure people are tired of hearing about that stuff. But I mean, we're not. We're talking about today. We're actually going to talk about what's happening in. We're going to do Calvert and St. Mary's.
We can do all
We
three.
can?
We can do all three.
So
Charles in
these-
there too. I got them all.
These are the reports you get on days on the market, number of houses for sale.
Every month they get out these market stats, and they come out usually around the 12th to the 15th of the month.
Okay.
And it just tells you I mean, it's pretty inclusive. It tells you every little thing that's possibly going on in the market, from days on the market, sales price, median sales price, close, how many close, how many new listings.
Okay.
And that actually is a barometer that we use for what the market's doing every month, right? You and I talk about it all the time. Like,
yeah,
this is, what are we seeing improvement in the market? And it's really a combination of. Actually, I'll backpedal for a second. Sometimes we might have improvement in one area of the market, but it doesn't mean the overall market's improving, right?
Yeah.
So
let's talk about what you got. All right. Well, let's go right down the line, and maybe we can talk about what it means.
Yeah, let's start in Calvert.
Okay.
Do that. So Calvert County in the month of February had 78 new listings.
Okay.
And that's
just new
listing, brand new, came on the market, 78 new listings in February. In February of 2025, we had 77. So
right in line.
Really, right? No change. No change at all. So they said now from January, it's a decrease of 1% because they had 79 in January. I don't really look at that. If it was significant, then we look at it, right? But new listings is good. What's interesting to me though, so we have a total of this is when this came out, right? We had 180 listings active.
Right.
We have when this was done, we had 180 new listings in Calvert County. 180 total. Listings. Sorry, not new listings.
78 new, 180 total.
Right.
Okay.
Now, here's where this I think is good news. In 2025, we had 152.
Okay.
So that's a 18% increase year over year in total volume. So that's a good sign. I want to.
And this is February.
This is February, right?
Which is good.
It's very good.
That's early,
right?
Okay.
Now, what's interesting? Actually, I wanted to say this because it's been 2 or 3 months in a row now. One thing that I will jump back into. The weird thing is the median sales price in Calvert for February was $427,642. Weird number, right?
Yeah.
Now that's up from January, but down from a year ago by 2%. So,
okay.
But what's interesting is for the second or third month in a row, St. Mary's County median sold price $452, up 13%. Yeah.
Wow.
So from 2025, it's 13%, which was 400. So second or third month in a row, the average sales price in St. Mary's is actually higher than Calvert County.
I wonder what drives that.
So I think it's volume, right? I think it's because you might have, it depends on where those houses sold in Calvert and what the volume, what the sales price was. And likewise in St. Mary's, right? If you've sold more waterfront, and it's going to bring more value, right? But anyway, so it's completely boring. I'm sure people are completely bored with this.
Well, so I mean, the good news is there's more houses on the market.
They're getting more and more.
We're still early. I mean, a typical spring market starts end of March, 1st of April.
Right.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
And this is 30 days ago.
Now there's some good signs here too. I mean, the closed sales were up from 2025. It's closed 67 in 2025 and 78 this year. So more closed volume is happening.
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean, our January was slower.
Right.
February almost doubled the volume of January.
Actually, this is an interesting number here that when you just said that. So closed sales from January to February, they had only 47 closed in January to 78. So it's a 66% increase month over month. That's pretty impressive.
So total in St. Mary's.
Oh, this is Calvert.
Oh, Calvert. Okay.
State of Calvert. Sorry. 47 sales is what you had in January, according to this.
Doesn't seem like a lot.
Seemed like a lot at all.
Huh.
You know, it is what it is, I guess.
Right. What was St. Mary's in January?
January would have been, let's see, 70. And they're up 20% month over month. So to 84. Really, really fascinating.
Well, and you also have, this is what PCS season,
right?
So St. Mary's should be up.
Should be getting
in that regard.
Yeah.
Just because of that.
Here's one thing I will share this is the thing that I think people that are selling their house really need to be concerned about. Maybe not concerned. So the average days on the market now in Calvert County is 40 days.
Okay.
So the days of the house is on the market is 40 days now on average to sell.
Okay.
Now, that number's been ticking up. The 5-year average has been 37. So it's ticking
slowly going up.
Yeah, slowly going up, which means
there's more on the market.
Yeah, right. So that's a good sign.
As you get more inventory.
Yeah. See,
people have more options.
I think 40 days on. See, we're so used to a house going on the market and it's under contract within same day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like 15 offers and 400 people came to your house. Well, that's not.
Calls for station identification.
All right, let's try that.
Ooh. Oh boy.
Smooth jet.
That's
no. So
days on the market.
Yes, days on the market we have
as inventory goes up. Is days on the market increase?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. So Calvert has 40. It was 40. St. Mary's was 54 days on the market average.
Okay.
Right. And then
wow,
Charles is 61, back to 60 days on the market, give or take.
And so Charles County has a lot more inventory with new construction.
Ton more inventory. I think they have in February 363 active units, something like that. No, I'm wrong. 423 active listings. Now that's when this was done.
Now is that counting? That's counting all new construction, too, right?
Well,
how do they count that?
So new construction is a different animal. It just depends. Sometimes the builders won't put in every lot that's available.
Right.
They'll put in a few. Sometimes they'll put in lots that are available with many. So it's really inconsistent.
Okay.
But it's not a bad barometer to say that that's what the number is. 400.
Yeah.
Some.
It's insane. It's so many more.
Yeah. Yeah. Active listings actually. Now I'm looking at it right now. 479 was the actual active listings. Isn't that crazy?
What was it last year?
5-year average 307. Last year in February was 363.
So they're up significantly.
Yeah, they are. And see, Calvert was 129 in February of 2025, and they're at 186 now. So some increase in inventory, which is
that's good.
Yeah, I mean
that's what we need.
The average person would look at this stuff and be bored out of their wits, but you can see how one thing leads to another. The sales price is going up,
right?
And sales price is balancing out a little bit. That means there's more inventory. People are competing more for houses.
Yep.
But nothing dramatic.
So let's break it down into what this means for a home buyer. Okay, so if you're meeting with a home buyer today, and you guys are getting ready to go out looking at houses, what are you going to tell them? How are you going to explain this to them?
Well, actually, I mean, there's a lot of things you can tell somebody here. But the first thing, most importantly, is there's a bit more inventory than we've had in years past, which means that you're going to have more opportunities, more.
So instead of us going out and looking at one house, we may actually find 3 or 4.
Yeah, maybe 2
that meet your criteria.
Right, maybe 2. But that's super important for the buyer that wants to get what they're looking for, and we're going to help them, guide them to find what it is that they really want, and help them get that. Some of the other things that I think, one of the things I wish they put in here was seller concessions. Like what are the sellers? Are they contributing to closing costs, and how much are they contributing? That'd be really a nice number to have, which we don't have. But
I mean, I'm still having people lose out on cash offers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're submitting a full price offer, no closing. It's finance. I provide a letter, and they're losing to a cash deal.
I think every property is very different right now.
Yeah.
And it depends on what you're looking for. Because if some of the houses out there, multiple offers, super competitive, and some of them, they're just sitting.
Yeah.
So it's really what the buyer's looking for exactly. That's why if you're a seller, you really want to make your house look the very best you can right now. Because if it looks as good as you could be competing offers and really be in a great spot.
And I'm seeing that on a lot of houses that I provide letters for. So I'm asking the agent. I said, what's the situation? I'm going to call the listing agent, or I call the listing agent. Well, we've got 3 other offers, so we'll hopefully get back to you in a day or 2.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty amazing. I think it's not as bad as I've seen it in the last 2 or 3 years. It was worse, I feel.
Yeah. I wish we had a matrix for how many people are actually out there home shopping.
Yeah, that would be really
not just houses on the market. Okay, well, how many people do we have looking?
Yeah,
and what price range? And there's
we have internally most brokerages have access to the showings on their properties. We can see through our brokerage who's showing our properties.
Right.
But it'd be really nice if we saw a global, how they're everybody's properties. Then we could actually say, okay, this house is getting significant activity because it has a pool, right? Like we can come up with, or it has a hip roof, whatever the situation is,
How many, so if you look at Calvert, St. Mary's, told us what the 5-year was on Charles, but what do you think a normal number is? Where do you think we need to be as far as number of listings, or active listings in those markets?
I think we're probably, this is just Chris's number, right?
Yeah.
Like I think we're probably 25% off our number. I think we're probably a quarter
for February.
Yeah. I think for an ideal number, I still have buyers looking and they can't find the properties, right? So they're not there. They're just not on
I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I got a bunch of listings coming, but they're not going to be ready until April."
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be.
And maybe I might be being short-sighted here because it's still a little early in the spring market. We just had snow, 3 days ago. That slows things down a little bit. I remember it was about 10 years ago. We had a significant snowstorm in February, and it literally locked us down for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And showings were down and that sort of thing. So we had a much later spring market, went into March and April and early into May, honestly. And so that's not uncommon for that to happen.
So we need warm weather. We need low rates.
Right. just little
everything
things
we can't control.
All right. Little things.
I do remember, it might not have been 10 years. It's when I was working, doing new homes, working with HBI.
Okay.
And they had probably 4 or 5 that went under contract December, January.
Yeah.
And it locked up the ground when it came time to dig.
Yeah.
They couldn't. I mean, they were
frozen.
They were 60 days behind.
Yeah.
Because it was so frozen.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that it affects builders, the weather, it's big problems. But I don't think our numbers are off. I mean, one of the numbers I look at, we have an average it's a sold price to list price. It's a ratio that they get.
Yeah.
So it's really what price you list your house versus what price it sells for. And I mean, all 3 counties, we're at basically 98%.
Oh wow!
So we're listing.
So you guys are doing a good job.
Well, yeah, right. The sellers are doing a good job at pricing their houses.
Does it ever go over 100?
Yeah.
To price in escalations or people paying more?
Sure. Last couple of years, we've seen 101, 100.
Really?
Yeah, sure. There's been, depending on the county, we've seen.
Okay. So that would tell you there's a lot of buyers, not a lot of properties, and people are willing to go in and pay more.
Yeah.
And it's listed.
So, I mean, actually, I was going to look and see if any of these had any over the last couple of years. So 101 or anything. I don't think they do. Not in January or February. Yeah.
What's Charles County?
Charles
Percentage.
County. They're getting 98% of list price.
Wow.
On average. Now that means many people are getting 90. Well, actually it was January is 97. February of last year was 98.6. So, I mean, it's basically you're getting
what you're
close. Yeah, pretty close. Now you might be paying something and maybe they're raising sales price.
So that doesn't take into consideration seller concession.
I don't know
whether it's in that or not.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in there or not.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell. I would imagine probably has some sort of concessions, which I don't know.
I mean, I still prep all my buyers for worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Here's the sales price.
We do too.
Here's your bottom line. If you are not to get any seller help, here's what you need.
Yeah, I mean, it's always best to prepare them for worst case scenario, I think, and
For best offer.
yeah. But they also need to know that it's worst case scenario, right? Because then when they open it up, they're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's so bad," But the truth is, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe you might get a better deal than that. You just don't know.
I mean, it sounds like all that's great news for sellers.
Yeah, I think it's kind of middle of the road for everybody. Honestly,
Right.
I don't think it's bad. I think the inventory increases are definitely needed, and we need we have such a shortage of housing for people. I think it's great. I think this is an opportunity for us to start seeing a real late spring market.
So does your little crystal ball there tell you what March was last year? So we can kind of look ahead and go, okay, here's what we're.
No, but we can do that next month. I can have it for us next month and kind of do that for the following.
We'll do the same thing.
Yeah, do the same thing.
I didn't know if we could look ahead and go, okay, here's what we're shooting for.
Yeah, well,
Hopefully it'll be higher.
maybe what I'll do also is bring in the previous months or previous year's actual report and kind of look at them a little closer between the two.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if you're a real buyer and you want to buy a house, there are houses out there. There's inventory out there.
There is.
The rates are not horrible. I tell everybody now, when I started in this business, now I sound old when I say that. Like when I started in this business, we had in our employee manual,
Right.
we had a chart for mortgage interest rates.
Okay.
It went approximately how much per thousand, that kind of thing, and it started at 7%.
The lowest rate was
The
7.
lowest rate was 7%, going up to 16.
I'm gonna tell everybody how long ago that was.
It wasn't that long ago. I don't know, 2-3 years.
Last year.
Yeah, last year. But actually,
I mean,
if we talk about the rates, we're not that far.
there's plenty of people I talk to that are selling their home and downsizing.
Oh, that ton of that.
They've been there for 30 years.
Yeah.
And they talk about how, this is not bad. This is not bad at all.
Yeah.
No one has perspective that I did when I first did a mortgage rates for 18-20%.
Yeah. Yeah. My first house was 8.25.
Yeah.
8.25. I remember it. Weird that I remember it, but I do.
I mean,
but now then, see, the argument with that is that, I paid it, 89.5 for that house too.
yeah.
Right. So
But it's perspective.
it is. It is.
Everything goes up in cost. The cost of it can't stay the same.
Right.
The cost to produce everything increases. And look at oil right now.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, oil drives everything. The
we-
number of materials that are produced or have oil in them to build a house is numerous.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but national news does affect that for people, right? And we're very government centric in Southern Maryland, right? We've got a lot of government employees, active duty military, contractors that are reliant upon the government, and no politics involved in this. I'm not saying that, but it's important for us to watch those things because they do affect your rates, and they affect and they affect inventory. Like if you don't have people PCSing out or moving around, then we have less inventory in Southern Maryland, honestly. So this is
And having a military base here, that's huge.
it's huge.
Because it's a great start to the year because it's early.
Yeah.
It's February, March.
I will say this, and I'm not as plugged in as I should be, but is it just me, or have I noticed less like active duty uniforms out in public lately? Have you not?
I haven't noticed.
I have. That's the thing. I used to notice more military. So maybe I don't know. Maybe we don't have as much active duty here as we used to.
We have a lot of government contractors.
We have a lot of government contractors for sure.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's ever going to end.
No.
So, well, I appreciate it. It's been great.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
we're going to do
it
this.
probably bored you to death, but
We're going to do this every month
yeah, it'll be fun.
and try to report back. So it's the 15th of the month that comes out. We're going to meet just after that, try to give you guys all the information. Next month should be a great one because it's in the heat of the market, in the spring
Really good
market.
numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. So I look forward to that. Thank you.
Awesome. See you next month.
All right.